Okay, so good afternoon everyone from YouTube. The Insomaniac Rider here. It's been a while since I uploaded. I remember the last video I did was in January, where I did a radiator flush on my 390 Duke. But today's topic, however, we are discussing chain maintenance, because it's one of the few things that's fairly neglected in the motorcycling community, and which is why I started with a shot of the chain over here. Okay, so what I basically wanted to discuss in chain maintenance is the do's and don'ts. This is going to help you. This will probably help your chain and sprockets go a little longer than they're supposed to, and you will be surprised by the results you get. So I'll get into the do's first. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you got to lubricate your chain whenever it's needed. Don't go only by numbers. For example, if you see your chain looking pretty polished in these areas right here, very reflective, you might want to lubricate your chain. That's a sign that there is less chain lube on it and it's more prone to corrosion. So maybe you applied less lubricant and you went out for a ride in the rain, and you can see that the chain looks very reflective. So that's when you want to first apply your chain lube. Don't always go by numbers. And the second thing is, when you're applying chain lube, make sure that the chain is absolutely free of any chain cleaner or degreaser, as if you put chain lube on a chain which has maybe a bit of some chain cleaner on it, it's going to react and it's going to be rendered useless. So make sure you're using a good chain cleaner. You have Motul, Maxima, Muc-off, etc. And bonus points if it is water soluble. Because if it's water soluble, the chain cleaner will go off just with a spray of water, and you can dry your chain, and you'll only be left with an absolutely dry chain, lack of any chain cleaner. The next thing is, when you're applying chain lube, make sure you mainly lubricate in the inner links, because the centrifugal force while riding will send the chain lube to the outside as well. And the whole idea of applying chain lube is to prevent corrosion to the chain and to basically replenish the links between the O-rings. You can see between the chain links here. Okay, now that I've covered a few tips as the do's, now it's time to cover the don'ts. So the first thing that you shouldn't do while maintaining your chain is pretty straightforward. Never put it on a paddock stand and keep it in gear. Whenever you're using a paddock stand to maintain your chain, always keep the bike in neutral and don't turn it on, as chain and sprockets, when they grab your finger in between, it can be pretty dangerous and you're at a very high risk of losing your fingers. So you do not want to do that. The next thing you shouldn't do is you shouldn't apply excess chain lube to your chain, because when you do so, it will fling onto your rear wheel, and cleaning it up is going to be a huge mess. And the amount of chain lube which would have been flung onto the front sprocket area will be extremely, it's going to be a huge residue. It's going to be very difficult to clean. So you want to spray as less as you can, but you got to make sure you cover the other chain pretty well, so that water doesn't have a chance of causing any corrosion of any sort. The next tip is, it should have been in the do's, but do not neglect your front sprocket area, because if you do, you clean your chain maybe 3-4 times, there would have been a lot of residue which would have collected near the front sprocket area, and cleaning it is going to be a huge problem. So make sure that whenever you clean your chain, you take a look at the front sprocket area, you degrease it nicely, clean it all up, and you continue with the chain maintenance routine just as usual. Another thing you shouldn't do is, you shouldn't keep your chain loose, because it always has a chance of snapping when you're riding very fast. And if the chain is very loose, like I said, it can snap. So make sure that the chain's tension is checked every now and then, but also do not tighten it too much, as it can hamper your rear suspension action. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's all I had for today. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you, please do leave a like. If you have any questions, do comment, and I'll answer them as soon as I can. If you have any questions, or if you want to get all the motorcycle gear I use, the stuff that I use for maintenance, I'll include links to everything in the description below. Please do make it a point to share it with your friends and other friends of yours who ride motorcycles, so that it helps them, and so that our motorcycle community can be a little more clean and more vigilant of their maintenance schedule. So yeah, that's about it guys. Take care, ride safe, and goodbye.